Welcome to today's tutorial. A hacker will spend 80% of his time gathering information about a target and then use 20% to get into the target's operating system. This basically goes the same with a penetration tester. Every penetration tester out there is given that task to exploit a system or a public facing application to see if there are vulnerabilities and report these vulnerabilities before the bad guys do. So the same way the bad guys or the same way the hackers gather information is the same way that ethical hackers gather information. In this tutorial, I would like to show you a tool that is used to gather information. This tool will crawl into a website, get the headers of that website, get the DNS information of that website, who is information. It will get hidden directories that are not supposed to be that we are not supposed to get access to. And then this tool also use the Wayback Machine. And at the same time, this tool can also be able to give you information like the open ports that are found in that particular website or in that particular public facing application. So without wasting much time, let us begin. In front of me here is my Kali Linux operating system, and you can see that I am running Ubuntu. Now, what you are going to do is you first of all come to your browser and you launch this tool. This tool is known as the white hat, the white hat, the white hat for Final Recon, the white hat Final Recon. And you can see it here, the white hat Final Recon. So I'm going to click on this tool here, and we are going to get more information about this tool as we proceed. Now, this is the tool located in a GitHub repository. If I scroll down here, you can see how it's labeled, and they say Final Recon is an all-in-one automatic web reconnaissance tool written in Python. Goal of Recon is to provide an overview of the target in a short amount of time while maintaining the accuracy of results. Instead of executing several tools one after another, it can provide similar results, keeping dependencies small and simple. So this is what this tool basically does. We are not going to be reading more about this, but what we are going to do is when you find yourself in a GitHub repository like this, you are going to come to the code here as we do normally, and you are going to copy this link, and then you come to your terminal here. In my case, it's the Ubuntu operating system. In your case, it could be a Kali Linux or whatever system you are using. And what we're going to do here is you're going to type git clone, and then you paste your link which you copied, and then you hit enter. So it says it already exists. Of course, I already did this tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my screen, and I'm going to type ls for us to see if truly we have this tool. And you can see here the name of the tool is the Final Recon. So what am I going to do? I am going to cd into Final Recon. I am going to cd into Final Recon. Final Recon, and I hit enter. And you see that we are now found in the Final Recon directory, meaning that we are now in the Final Recon folder. So we want to list the things that are found in this folder and how this tool is going to be used. So I'll do ls. When you do ls, you see the various information that is found in this tool. Now you can see Guy, you see environment, you see Banakeng, you see Peter here. All this information, these are Python environments that are created initially because I use these tools most of the time in my pen tester activities, and so I always create that virtual environment. So, but we are going to create a different virtual environment, and then we are also going to install the requirements, because you can see here that there is a .txt folder for requirements, which gives us the dependencies that are used by this tool. So what we are going to do now is that I am going to create and activate a Python environment. For me to do this, I'll first of all clear my screen again, and I'm going to check the version of the Python which I have. First, Python 3 dash version to be very sure if I have Python installed. And you can see that this is Python installed in my operating system. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to create a Python environment or a virtual environment where we're going to use to run this tool. The reason I am creating a virtual environment is because I want to make sure that uh, I isolate the dependencies and manage this tool in that environment. And I also want to make sure that I prevent system pollution. I prevent this tool and its dependencies from sprawling to other sides of my Ubuntu operating system. So how do you create a Python environment? You're going to give it Python 3, and then you give it a dash M, you give it venv, and then you give it a name of the Python and or of the virtual environment which you want to create. Let us just give it a name like let's give it a name like virtual. In your case, you can use any name you want, and then you hit enter, and then you wait for it to do its thing. So what it is doing now, it is creating that virtual environment where we can work. So you have to wait for some time for it to load, and then it creates it, and then we are going to check if we have it. Now it has brought us back to the terminal. So now let us check to see if we have created an environment known as virtual. So if I do ls, if you check here, you see that we have a new environment here called virtual. So this is the name of our virtual environment. Now I want to take you into the virtual environment, meaning that I want to activate this virtual environment, and then we can work from a virtual environment. So what I'm going to do now is that I am going to just type source. I give the name of the virtual environment, and in our case is virtual. And remember that you can as well use any name which you desire. And then I am going to give it I come back, I am going to give it the directory, bin directory, and then I'm going to type activate, and I hit enter. And you can now see that instead of being just in the directory where we were, we are now in a virtual environment operating as term user cybersecurity. And the tool which we are using in this case is Final Recon. So what you are going to do, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my screen, type ls to see everything that is there, and you can see every information that comes uh, with this tool. The name of the tool is Final Recon.py, which is a Python dependency. The tool has requirements or a requirement.txt file which we will need to install, and then the tool tells us that it does a word list, a who is server in JavaScript object notation, and it gives so much information. Take note, in your case, you are not going to find names like Banakeng, find names like environment, Guy, and Peter. The reasons these names are here, they are previously created Python environment or virtual environments like this one that I had initially done. Like I said. So what you are going to do is, or what we are going to do now is that we want to activate the requirement.txt file to make sure that every other dependency that comes along with this tool is going to be used, or we can use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do pip install requirements.txt, and I hit enter. So it will start installing. It says you are attempting to install a packet literally named requirement.txt. Now let me see something. Pip install requirements. Let me see. Requirements.txt. Pip install requirements.txt. Okay, what I've done is that I had to give it a dash R for requirements. Dash R. So I give it a dash R. Let me see. Dash R, sorry, space bar dash R for requirements, and then I hit enter. And then now it is going to create, or it is going to install every other dependency that is used by this tool, and you can see that it is doing its job there. So it could take like maybe a minute or two, and then you can now come back and you continue with the tutorial, or you continue with whatever you are doing, or it could be your pen testing exercise. And it is going too fast. I like the way it is going. So let us just wait and see, so that it installs everything. And when it's done, we can continue. And you can now see that it has finished doing everything. So I'm going to clear my screen once more. And what I am going to do now, I'll type an ls to show you what I am doing. And now it is time for us to launch our tool, which is called Final Recon.py. So what I'm going to do here is that I am going to come here and I'm going to type Python 3, and I'm going to paste the name of the tool, which is Final Recon here, and I hit enter. So now you see that it has launched the graphical user interface here, and you can see it was created by the white hat. You can see their Twitter link, you can see the community information or link, and you can see the version here. So what I'm going to do now is that I am going to clear my screen, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back this command here, and I'll give it a dash H to see the various flags which we can use in this tool. Now let us observe. This tool is used to get, or if you are targeting a URL or a domain, like let's say www.facebook.com, you are going to type a dash URL dash URL here. If you want to get the headers of that URL or of that domain, if you want to get the who is information, if you want to get the secure socket layer information, that is the certificate information, you use dash SSLL info. If you want to crawl into the website, if you want to get the DNS information of that website and the subdomains of that website. Now, these subdomains is very important, especially, sometimes some organizations leave their subdomains without securing them. You could go as a pen tester and you want to find the vulnerabilities that are or that are involved in a web-facing application or a public-facing application, and their main domain doesn't have or has been hardened in a way that it does not have those weaknesses. So what do? It is you can go to their subdomains, you check if they have the subdomains by using tools like this, and then now you can try to see if there are weaknesses in those subdomains. And then you can see this one, dir for directory. This one here, it helps us to be able to gain access to hidden directories which we are not authorized to see. So without wasting more of our time, I am going to come back here and I'm going to give it Python 3 Final Recon. I am going to remove this dash help, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it dash URL, referring to the URL which we want to get information about. And in my case, since I don't have a domain that I am using, I'll give it HTTP colon forward slash. I give it test. In your case, you can use anyone which you think you want to, or you may want to brute force, or the one that your customer in a pen testing exercise may have given you, dash vonweb.com. Von V here. Vonweb.com. Let me see. Let me cross check. HTTP colon forward slash test PHP dot vonweb.com. Yeah, I hope we are good to go. And then now, if you wanted to get like the who is information about this web, what do? You know that this is the code for who is lookup. So I'm going to do who is, and I hit enter. So let us wait for it. It says that unable to get the IP address. Now let me check if my web application is correct. So I do dash URL HTTP colon forward slash test PHP von web. Okay, there is an E here, which is supposed to be here. You have to be very vigilant. So you hit enter, and now you can see that it has given us the who is lookup information. You can see the domain name here, and you can even see the IP address. This is the IP address of this domain. You can see the domain name which we are brute forcing, or which we are doing a who is lookup. You can see the registry ID. You can see the server information URL. You can see this is a subdomain. And if you come here, what is more interesting, you are going to see something like the phone number, our Bill's phone number here. Now, how can you use this phone number as a person that is doing information gathering? Or how can you use this as a penetration tester? Or how do the black hats use this? You can use this for social engineering. You do smishing, you could do a voice over IP calls and all of that. And then you can see their subdomains here, which you can also try to gather information about this vulnerable application. Take note that this is for demonstration purposes, education purposes. Do not practice this if you are not given full authorization and documentation to practice activities like this. So let us continue. Now, I am going to clear my screen like this, and we see other options which we can use. So instead of using the who is, what if we just say we wanted to see if there are some open ports or there are hidden directories in this website? or in this web application. So if I do dash dash ps, let us see if it has open port, and you can see so many open ports in this public facing applications. So what are you going to do here as an ethical hacker? You are now going to be seeing which of these ports are vulnerable or which of these ports are exploitable, and you can see that it has port 21 open now, and you are seeing that it's also using 10 POP, post office protocol, which is used for emails. And then you can also see so much information that you can use to continue with your attack, or to see or to brute force on this open port and gather more information. So what I'm going to do is that I am first of all going to clear my screen. I will clear my screen, and then I bring back this. Now, let's say, what if you wanted to get the open ports, you wanted to get the whole is information at the same time, you wanted to get the directories, the hidden directories in this public facing application for your client in a pen testing exercise. You wanted to use the Wayback Machine, which shows the history of this open or of this web application since the day it was created. You wanted to check the headers of this application and every other thing. What do? So these are the various flags which you can use. So if I hit enter, I'm going to sit back, take my popcorn, sit, and I watch what is happening. And you can see that it is giving us every information. This is just amazing. This tool takes everything, gathers every information about a web application, and just provide it to you as a pen tester there for you to continue your pen testing exercise. So you can see the subdomains that are found here. So now, as an ethical hacker or a penetration tester, what are you going to do? You are now going to try to see which of these subdomains could have a vulnerability. By doing what? Take it you take it to Google, you check every information about it, especially domains like this slash admin, domains like this slash secured. It shows that it has secured information. It has maybe authenticated information. And if this organization is careless in that manner that they may have not safeguard this information well, then you as a hacker, or you as someone who may want to, excuse me, please, let me copy this, to copy this secured. So you as a penetration tester who may want to, let me say, copy link. I come back here. Let me paste this link here. Let's see what is in this secured folder here. Let's see if it can give us information about this website. Because when you see secured, it means that it has information which is not supposed to be given access to by a normal user, and hackers are able or capable of getting this information. Let me also go back to my terminal and copy this one with slash admin. Copy link. I go back to my browser. It's taking much time. I hope there is something, or it gives us some juicy information. And let us see. It says create an SQL. Let us see. It's giving us a file. If we open to this file, let's see what could be inside, or potentially be inside this file here. Here, let's see. It might give us information. It may not give us information which we want. If I give it my password, and you can see that it's just giving us some code here. So this is not so juicy, but basically, what is the reason for this tutorial? It is to help you to be able to gain access into hidden directories like this one, to help you to gain access into information which you are not supposed to gain access to. If you didn't know how to use this tool, you will not be able to know that this tool, there is a tool that is capable of even giving you open ports like this. So this is for educational purposes only. Practice this at home if you can, but make sure that you are authorized to do this. And I am going to stop this tutorial here. My name is Banaken Gio. I am a certified ethical hacker. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel so that we can boost the algorithm for more educational content like this. Thank you, and bye bye.